One of the things I struggle with probably quite a bit as a spouse and as a parent was it's always been really difficult for me to see someone that I love really upset or really frustrated or angry, because there's something in me that immediately wants to fix it. Kind of a fixer. That's kind of what I do. And so I just have this sense of like, I want to fix the problem. I want to fix why you're upset. I want to fix the frustration. But what we start to understand is that over time, there's just lots of things we can't fix. There's disappointments and hurts and pains that we can't fix. And I had to realize I couldn't, but that was frustrating to me. Then I would get frustrated. So then when I started to realize, you know what, I can't fix the problem, then I would notice in myself, I would start to shift gears where then I would start to minimize it. You know what? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You know what? I mean, there are worse things that could happen. You know what? Yeah, it's going to be okay. Really, it's going to be okay. And so I would try to calm my spouse down and my kids down because I want to try to find a way to minimize it, but not really for their sake. I kept telling myself it was for their sake, but really it was for me because I didn't want that type of angst in my home. I didn't want that upsetness in our home. I didn't wanted people to be getting along. I wanted there to be peace. And so when people are upset or people are frustrated or angry, that's something I wanted to keep pushed away. But then there's times when I'm the source of the frustration, right? When I cause someone to be frustrated or angry or disappointed or upset. Something I've done, something I didn't do, something I said, something I didn't say. And in the same way, there's something in me that always wants to fix that. How do I fix that as soon as I possibly can? But there's some things that you just can't fix quickly. There's some hurts and pains that happen and disappointments that happen that you can't fix all that quick. And so then I could find myself doing the same thing, where then I would just minimize it. You were making such a big deal out of this. Why are you blowing this so far out of proportion? Are you trying to make me feel worse? Are you trying to make me feel more guilty? Like, what more do I have to do? That I had this way of figuring out, how do I turn this around and make this about me? And suddenly, I'm the victim. And a big aha moment that was super helpful in all of my relationships was this realization that when frustrating things happen, people are allowed to be frustrated. When maddening things happen, people are allowed to get mad. And that's not a threat against me. That's just letting someone have a natural emotion to something that's happened. When something upsetting happens, someone gets to be upset. If I do something that angers someone, they get to be angry. What happened is angering, or what happened is disappointing. What happened is frustrating. Somebody, they get the permission to feel that way. And it's not my job to figure out, how do I squash all those feelings in you so that in reality, I feel better. It's like, no, you know what? Yeah, that's frustrating. And so that's something we say a lot in our home is, you know what? You get to feel frustrated. That's frustrating. Or you get to be ticked off. Get it. Yeah. You get to be mad. You get to be disappointed. Now, that part too for the other person, or even for yourself, when you apply this to yourself, is that it doesn't give you the right to act in toxic ways. It doesn't give you the right or the permission to say very condemning things in your anger. Things full of contempt and disgust and belittling words. It doesn't give you permission to do that. It doesn't ever give you permission to act violently. It doesn't ever give you permission to just act in very unhealthy, toxic ways. That you and I become responsible for how we choose to act when we're angry or how we choose to act when we're frustrated. That each of us have to take personal responsibility for that. And there's never permission for that to be acted out in some sort of toxic way. But people also get the right and the permission to feel angry or to feel hurt, to feel disappointed. And we don't have to minimize that. We can just let them be hurt because we recognize, you know what happened is hurtful. What happened is disappointing. And so, you know what? Yeah, you get to feel that way.